Welcome to Impact Signals, Social Impact at the Scale of AI. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Sarah.
It's Wednesday, August 19, 2026, episode 108. Today, who gets the technology and who is left holding the gap? Meta is putting nearly $2 million into 30 U.S. organizations to test what AI glasses can actually do for disability. Indiana's record flood is the first big test of FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, in the middle of its overhaul. And Korea and Busan start field trials of an AI flood platform, while Sri Lanka reckons with why early warnings did not save lives during Cyclone Ditwah. We start in the United States, where Meta is distributing nearly $2 million in grants to 30 organizations across 18 states to explore how its AI glasses can increase independence for people with disabilities. Disability Scoop reported the grants on August 18. A dozen of the 30 recipients focus specifically on disability needs.
What makes this significant is the shift in who runs the test. On the August 15 episode, we covered Meta shipping 15,000 pairs to Vision Ireland's blind and low vision community, distribution at scale in one country. This is a funded research and practice program instead, where 30 independent U.S. organizations probe for uses Meta itself has not designed for.
Meta says it selected grantees on demonstrated impact, scalability, and relevance to settings where hands-free technology matters most: accessibility, workforce safety, education, agriculture, and economic opportunity.
The glasses are the easy part. The unresolved part is consent. Privacy advocates keep flagging covert filming incidents with this same hardware, so the accessibility case is being built in public right next to an open privacy problem.
So the test is now concrete. Nearly $2 million, 30 organizations, 18 states, with grantees spanning workforce and education settings. Enough spread to show whether hands-free AI assistance generalizes beyond blindness and low vision.
For practitioners in the disability field, the results are the thing to watch. The disability community has been the most concrete beneficiary of consumer AI wearables so far, and this program shifts the question from whether the glasses help to which specific uses hold up when 30 independent organizations test them.
Moving to Malaysia, the state of Sarawak launched its sovereign AI infrastructure platform on August 17, a high-performance computing environment run by state-owned Sarawak Information Systems and hosted entirely in local data centers. Alongside it, the state launched Dayang, an official AI assistant that answers citizens' questions about government services on the state website.
What's different here is the level of government. Most sovereign AI announcements come from national governments with national budgets. This is a subnational state standing up its own governed compute and a citizen-facing assistant on day one, built on locally governed data rather than capacity rented from external clouds.
The Sarawak Tribune reports the platform supports model fine-tuning, inference, digital twins, and cybersecurity analytics, and consolidates government data, residential areas, road networks, public transport connectivity for smart city and development planning. The Star and Free Malaysia Today independently confirmed the launch and the data sovereignty framing.
The named first workloads are smart city planning and faster project development, so the platform's operational output over the coming year is the real test. Whether state-level sovereign AI is a replicable governance model other subnational governments can copy, or a prestige build.
Story 3, Indiana. Storms that began August 11 have killed at least 6 people, including a 4-year-old boy, with winds of 90 to 100 miles per hour in the north of the state and more than 11 inches of rain in 2 days. The White River crested near 25 feet, past the previous record of 23.6 feet set in 1913.
This is where the field reality matters. A federal emergency declaration was approved on August 16, funding emergency protective measures at a 75% federal cost share, and it is landing on FEMA in the middle of an overhaul debate.
State Affairs reported August 18 that Indiana has become a live test of how the reshaped agency performs when a record-breaking event hits a state's response capacity. Coverage is broad and independent: the Associated Press, Bloomberg, Al Jazeera, and Indiana outlets. The timing matters.
And the outcome is measurable. How fast the declared assistance reaches counties, and whether the 75% cost share holds up against a flood that broke a 113-year-old record. Emergency managers across the country will read Indiana's experience as the first empirical answer to what the overhaul means in practice.
Fourth, to South Korea. ETRI, Korea's Electronics and Telecommunications Research Institute, signed a letter of intent with Busan Metropolitan City on August 19 to begin field demonstration of an AI urban flood prediction platform. one that reads rainfall data together with the city's camera feeds, sewer networks, storage facilities, terrain, sensor feeds, and past flooding history to call flood risk district by district.
Most urban flood AI stalls at the model stage because cities will not hand over the drainage, terrain, and camera data the models need. Busan just did. And the demonstration targets the districts that flood chronically, so the project window should produce a measurable answer on whether multi-source prediction beats simple rainfall threshold alerting in a dense coastal city.
ZDNet Korea reports the work sits inside the National No WET City program, running 2025 to 2029 at roughly 33.8 billion won, about $24 million US, with 3 other national research institutes. Predictions will be pushed through Busan Safety On, the city's existing alert platform, as real-time risk levels, danger zone warnings, and evacuation routes.
That last detail is the operational one. Warnings land in a channel citizens already have, not a new app nobody installs. The program itself launched in late 2025. What is new this week is Busan formally committing its urban data and its chronic flooding districts as the live testbed.
And a research note from Sri Lanka. 8 months after Cyclone Ditwah, Professor Delanthi Amaratunga of Loughborough University, one of the most cited scholars in disaster resilience, argued in a Daily Mirror interview published August 18 that the disaster exposed structural gaps in the country's early warning architecture, not a forecasting failure.
The data supports that framing. India's meteorological department flagged the depression as early as November 13 and fed Sri Lanka updates every 3 to 6 hours from November 23. The storm still killed more than 600 people, displaced more than 200,000, affected about 2.3 million, and caused roughly $4.1 billion US in damage, close to 4% of Sri Lanka's gross domestic product.
Loughborough's post-disaster research, published in February, documents where the chain broke. Warnings existed, but preparedness planning, last-mile dissemination, and evacuation decisions did not convert them into protective action.
The deaths happened anyway. The forecast arrived weeks ahead, which is exactly why Ditwah is becoming the canonical case that early warning coverage statistics do not measure protection. As UN early warnings for all money flows into warning infrastructure across South Asia, this documented failure mode, structure, not science, is the benchmark practitioners will audit those systems against.
On the disaster watch, the U.S. Geological Survey and Relief Web are tracking a magnitude 7.7 earthquake sequence in Indonesia's Flores region near end. Main shock August 14, a magnitude 6.1 aftershock the same day, damage reported to unsafe housing, national response ongoing. Also a magnitude 6.9 quake near the city of Pematangsiantar in Sumatra on August 15, and a magnitude 6.1 off Port Talri in Vanuatu on August 16.
Flores is the one to hold against today's Busan story. A prediction platform assumes the data feeds and the alert channel survive the event, and an earthquake response running through damaged housing is exactly the condition where a warning system's last mile gets tested. The same link in the chain Sri Lanka's record shows breaking.
On the calendar, 2 gatherings in session this week. The India AI Impact Summit is in progress, with a session on governing safe and responsible AI within digital public infrastructure convened August 19. And the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation's Climate Symposium is meeting in Dalian, China, focused on AI and extreme weather, the same problem Busan just committed its city data to test. The through line today: who gets the technology and who is left holding the gap? Meta is funding 30 organizations to find out what AI glasses do for disability. Indiana is finding out what a restructured FEMA does under a record flood, and Sri Lanka's record shows what an early warning architecture misses even when the forecast is right.
For practitioners, the common thread is that every one of today's systems gets judged at the handoff. Where a grant becomes a working use case, a federal declaration becomes assistance in a county, and a forecast becomes an evacuation. That handoff is where this week's field evidence is being written.
That's Impact Signals for Wednesday, August 19, 2026. If this briefing is useful, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out at impactsignals.ai and share it with someone working in the field.
Stay ready.